A very good morning. So today we'll be discussing the journal on the topic production of phosphorylated and functional alpha S1 casein in E. coli. So this is article which was published in Trends in Biotechnology. It was published online. It is not this still article in press, and it has an impact factor of around 19.4. So the terminology is casein missiles. It is a colloidal aggregate of casein proteins that sequester calcium phosphate, and the phosphomimetic substitution, it is nothing but replacing phosphorylated serine residues with aspartate or glutamate to mimic negative charges. Enhanced type kinase, it is a bacterial serine or 309 kinase, and TRL is level 4, which is used in the it is a technology scale which is used in innovation. So the novelty of the study is the first study to achieve native-like phosphorylation of casein in E. coli using bacterial kinase. So phosphomimetic approach, it uses phosphomimetic approach as an alternative to phosphorylation, showing comparable calcium binding capacity. So it combines precision fermentation with post-translational modification strategies for sustainable dairy protein production. So the aim of their study was to produce functional recombinant casein with native phosphorylation patterns using E. coli. So the objectives were to engineer the E. coli to co-express casein and bacterial kinases, to validate this phosphorylation sites through LC-MS and 2DE, and compare functional properties of phosphorylated versus phosphomimetic casein. Moving on to the materials and methodology. So first they took the bacterial strains and plasmids. So these were the horse strains which were taken, so which had high protein yield, and this E. coli M50 was used for kinase production, and E. coli top 10 was used as a cloning strain. So it also has plasmids like PET15B for vector for casein expression, and this plasmid which acted as a vector for kinase expression, and this one acted as a chaperone plasmid to enhance the solubility of kinases. Gene design and cloning was done. So they used synthetic genes like bovine AS1 casein, so which are from the residues from the codon optimized for E. coli. So phosphomimetic variant, the substitutes at all 8 phospho sites were also taken into account. So they have done cloning. So cloning was used, restriction, digestion and ligation into the specific enzyme was done. So gypsum assembly for kinase casein co-expression constructs was also carried out. So protein expression and purification was done. So the expression conditions were, for induction they used 0.5 ml for 16 hours at 30 degrees Celsius, and for chaperone co-expression they used this enzyme to prevent kinase aggregation. Lysis and purification was also done. For lysis buffer they used phosphate, sodium chloride and imidazole with a pH of 7.4 plus some lysosomal or protease inhibitors. Affinity chromatography was done, and desalting was done to remove the imidazole. So they also had some phosphorylation strategies like kinase in vitro phosphorylation. They did a kinase assay which was inhibited for 1 hour at 37 degrees Celsius, which was stopped by SDS page loading buffer, and validation was also done using autoradiography through incorporation, which was detected by a typhoon scanner, and the LC-MS mapping was done. The phosphocyte mapping was also done. So in vitro phosphorylation was also studied. The co-expression using the same casein gene plus the other enzymes. It was also validated using 2D gel electrophoresis, using isoelectric focusing and staining, using ProQ diamond, and Cipro-Ruby, which helped reveal and study about the total proteins which are available there. Functional characterization was also done like calcium binding assay and digestibility assay, and structural analysis was also carried out, like fluorescence spectroscopy, like 3D excitation emission matrix, and tryptophan fluorescence was also studied. Dynamic light scattering, which included the hydrodynamic diameter measurements, were also studied. So statistical analysis was carried out. They analyzed the calcium binding assay, which had 3 biological replicates. 2A ANOVA was carried out, plus EDAX multiple comparison test was also done. So the key comparison was that the phosphorylated or the phosphatomimic versus the unphosphorylated caseins were compared, and they had a significant thresholds which was significant, statistically significant, and proteomics was also analyzed where the location probability was greater than 0.75 for phosphosites, and the FDR value was less than 1% for peptide identification. So the results stated that there was a huge phosphorylation success where it phosphorylated all 9 native serine sites. So it had 8 or 9 sites with multiple phosphorated isoforms were detected. And there were also some functional outcomes like calcium binding. So phosphorylated caseins, like they were 2 to 3 times higher, they had 2 to 3 times higher affinity versus the unmodified one. It also had a phosphomimetic property which was compared to the native, which was not significant. And in regard to the digestibility, the rapid hydrolysis was seen in simulated derived fluids, which is similar to the bovine casein. So structural changes. So the phosphorylated caseins, they form larger oligomers, and when fluorescence was studied, there was a blue shift which indicated reduced solvent exposure. So moving on to the discussion, that 2 strategies are validated. Like bacterial kinase co-expression, it achieves near native phosphorylation, and in regard to phosphomimetics, bypass phosphorylation needs while retaining the calcium binding function. So functional success was also studied, and it indicated that both the phosphorylated and phosphomimetic caseins, they show 2 to 3 times higher calcium affinity versus the unmodified one. Digestibility profiles, they matched the native casein. The structural insights reveal that the phosphorylation, it includes oligomerization but no folding was seen, and fluorescence shifts, it indicated that the altered solvent exposure of TRP residues were found, and advancements over prior work like bacterial kinase, it outperforms the casein kinase 2, which has higher efficiency, and it avoids yeast glycosylation issues. So phosphatomimetics, it simplifies the production but may lack micelle formation precision. The strength of the study is that it has a multidisciplinary approach that combines synthetic biology, proteomics, and food science. So the study also had a very rigorous validation, like it used MS, functional assays, and structural analysis. So 2 strategies were tested, that is phosphorylation in vitro and phosphomimetics were studied. So the limitation is that non-native phosphorylation was there. The bacterial kinase phosphorylated off-target sites rather than the target, and it was only done in the lab scale, so it's a TLR, TRL4, and it needs a industry scale validation. So micelle formation was not tested, so which is critical for dairy applications like cheese formation, and the challenge was there is kinase specificity where non-native phosphorylation or scalability remains a challenge. Future direction is they are planning to optimize the kinase specificity, which through directed evolution of the enzymes, and they are yet to test the micelle assembly with recombinant caseins, and scaling of production can be done in alternative hosts like bacillus or yeast. So the conclusion is that the study successfully demonstrated 2 innovative approaches for producing functional casein in 2 E. coli. So it has a bacterial kinase co-expression which was achieved near native phosphorylation using this bacterium subtilis kinases, and phosphomimetic engineering substitutes were used to maintain the calcium binding function and simplify production by eliminating need for the phosphorylation. So the key achievements were that they preserved the caseins intrinsically disordered structure. It maintained critical calcium binding capacity, and it matched the negative digestibility profiles also. So the implication is that it can contribute to sustainable dairy products, microbial, functionality, it is actually achievable, but there are scalability challenges as said. So the bottom line is this study has a proof of concept for animal-free season, but industrial adaptation, it requires optimization of kinase specificity and very large-scale micelle testing. So this is a critical appraisal checklist where it is a hybrid checklist. It has blended elements from scope, arrive, which is used for animal research, and omics reporting guidelines like MIAM or MIMAP. So the title and abstract, the introduction, the materials and methods, including the protein production, phosphorylation, functional assays, were all clearly documented and well said. There also the bias control was actually partial because no explicit binding for assays was done, and it also the replicates are mentioned for the stats, and the statistical tests were robust and clear stats were stated, which were all significant, and the results and discussion was also well documented. Thank you.